Oh, coming up live on LiveWire, we've got a great show for you today. You're going to meet Katie Kilborn, who is the chief dancer and artistic director and co-founder of the Kilborn Dance Company. Did I get it right? No, okay, I got it right. Okay. So stay tuned for LiveWire right after this important message. So, with me in the studio is Katie Kilborn, who runs a dance company that started in New York and somehow bisected and we ended up with a dance company that sets dances to social issues, especially one I think we're going to talk about today, right? Isn't that right, Katie? Mm-hmm. Good. And what is that social issue?
So we're focusing on eating disorder awareness.
Eating disorders.
Yes.
Okay. Now, eating disorders are, I thought America had an eating disorder, we eat bad foods, and, that's a big deal right now.
Yes.
In that the fact is that we're trying to change the way America eats, greasy things and salty things, and none of that's any good for us.
Right.
But an eating disorder is, I guess that maybe we all have one, but there are true eating disorders. Why don't you describe what that means?
Sure. So there are several different eating disorders. Some are more well known and some aren't. But there's like anorexia nervosa, and so that is when someone feels the need to look a certain way, and they often restrict their food, or they over-exercise, or they have they don't have enough calories. There's bulimia nervosa, where someone often goes on binge eating, so they overeat, and then they compensate, often by purging to get rid of the food. And there's also just binge eating order, where someone overconsumes. And then there's other ones too. Sometimes there's eating disorders where people eat things that aren't food. So there's a lot of different things that go into it. So eating disorders are like the extreme, where there's like, sometimes we all kind of overeat ice cream sometimes, but then there's eating disorders which can take over someone's entire
tasty
life.
Stuff.
Yes. Yeah. But there's a lot of different factors that go into actual eating disorders. Mm-hmm.
So you come to this choices of this kind of like dealing with the social thing through the expression in dance.
Yes.
Okay, and actually it's a fundraiser too, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it helped the what is it organization? National Eating Disorder Association.
Yes.
Wow, and they want to express how people. These are like psychological issues.
Facts.
As well as. I don't know, it might be physiological as well.
Mm-hmm. Eating disorders really, they affect someone psychologically, emotionally, mentally, financially. Like there's so many different levels that go into eating disorders. Mm-hmm. So that's why we support the National Eating Disorder Association, because they're trying to bring awareness and they're trying to offer support to those who are suffering. And we're just trying to further that.
Well, that's a good thing to further,
Yes.
If you can get off of any disorder through service of a foundation. And that's what your dance company is meant to do, to have local wonderful dancers dance, make money. Oh, I said the word money. No, you can do that. Yes, of course. Make some money for this foundation, which help people with eating disorders.
Yes.
Is there general information that people can get about that through your dance company, about the National Eating Disorder Association?
Yeah, so at our fundraiser this weekend, we will have flyers for the National Eating Disorder Association, and I would definitely recommend checking that out. They have tons of resources. They have like online tools where you can screen to see if you have an eating disorder or might be at risk for developing one. They have resources where you can check to see where therapists are in your area. So they have just tons of resources, and we'll have QR codes that people can scan so they can check out the organization.
I understand disorders. I had a smoking disorder.
It's the same kind of
Cigarettes,
like
I couldn't
compulsive.
get off cigarettes.
Yeah.
29 years, finally I put the last cigarette
Oh,
out.
congratulations for putting it down. Yeah.
Well, I had a lot of help, but not a dance company that did dance to cigarette. They dance with cigarettes because they're saying, hey, you can love this stuff.
Yeah.
So I find that fascinating. Fascinating, the whole idea of a dance company that it is bent on. And the show's called Continuum. And how does that relate?
So every year, because we do an annual eating disorder awareness show every year, we focus on a different part of recovery. And so this year we're focusing on how recovery is not a linear process. Like it doesn't go from A to B. It goes from A and then like scribbles around, then goes backwards and goes forward. So we have a ladder that represents the recovery process, and the ladder breaks into different positions. So basically, every position represents a different stage in recovery. But basically, it's called continuum because recovery is an ongoing process. Again,
Yes,
it's not
it goes
just like
on. It goes on. You have to stay, otherwise there's fallback.
yeah,
I get it. Okay.
yeah, definitely.
Can't snap your fingers and say, all right, I'm done.
Nope, it's something.
1 in 10 million, maybe.
Yeah.
But I doubt that. That's a very interesting subject about these kinds of psychological disorders, and there's not all psychological because I think the body actually talks too. You know, and if you have, I mean, I heard a voice saying, "Get your next cigarette out, pal," and I thought, wait a minute, that's not me talking. I don't want another cigarette. I don't want to eat another pie. Well, maybe just one piece.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I like the idea of continuum and how we want to represent that's ongoing. Because for me, myself, I've recovered from an eating disorder. I bounced between anorexia and bulimia when I was younger. And even though like I'm not currently engaging in eating disorder behaviors, it's still part of my life and it'll always be part of my life. Like sometimes that voice comes up, but I'm able to be like, nope, that's not real, and kind of let it go. So, but it's something that's always
there.
always
Sure.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm thankful that it's not.
You know,
taken
and I
over.
think people need to have an association with that our human natures have that kind of, if they have this need for something, they kind of create a need in advance. I'm told we should watch something, so let's have a look at something, a B-roll, what we call B-roll here, is a video part about your company.
Oh, amazing.
Okay, here we go.
A little girl, she tells me I got soul. She sees it when I sing. Yes, a little girl, she tells me I got soul. She sees it when I sing. I tell her, girl, your eyes are getting old. You couldn't tell a mountain from a hole. 'Cause I can't feel a thing. No, I can't feel a thing. No, not even when I sing. I've got no soul in my body. I've just got soul in my brain. I've got no soul in my body. I've just got soul in my brain. 'Cause there's no soul in our bodies. There's just soul in our.
And there is your email, right? Was that your email?
Yep. Our email, our website, all the information you need for our show.
So you get a reservation that way?
Yes.
And so it's on the 18th at 7 p.m. and Sunday the 19th at 12 and 5 p.m.
Yep.
Get those dancers up and then do it and then
Yeah.
break.
They'll be dancing
and
a
then
lot.
Do it again.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of really wonderful. And how are the dancers? I mean, are the dancers that work with you throughout the year?
Yep. Yeah, we work all season long together. And we're a collaborative dance company. So we build it together. We take ideas from each other. We choreograph together. So I have a really awesome group of people this year.
That's a hard thing to do. You know, I don't, maybe it's easier in dance, but in the theater, you know, you don't collab.
Right.
Well, you do actually. You know, I mean, the actors say, "But could I just take a couple more steps, Ray?" Yeah, sure. Try a couple more steps.
Try it, yeah.
That's collaboration. But it's fascinating. So, tell me more about the foundation. I'm very interested in the Eating Disorder Association. What is it? What are its programs?
The National Eating Disorder Association?
Yeah, a little more about that.
Yeah. Well, they have tons of websites. They have an online screening tool. They have also a helpline that I used to volunteer for. And the helpline, you can call and get general information. They can refer you to specialists in your area. And they have tons of resources for people who want to support someone that don't know how to support someone. So they just have so much information on eating disorders and where to find help and how to find help and what your risk factors are. So lots. They have
Risk
annual
factors.
walks. Yeah.
What do you know? I mean, there are some people who are watching right now who have somebody in their family who has a disorder like that, you know, and they wonder what to do. You know, they try to do something within the family or through the leadership of the mother or the father. Let's say it's a child, you know, it could be even a wife or a husband with an eating disorder. Boy, he really likes to eat a lot and put on weight, and which is also pretty dangerous because it deals with heart and all of that, right?
Of course.
So I'm very interested in the fact that if someone is listening in, what would they do?
Yeah. So the first kind of step is to talk to the person in a non-judgmental environment. I feel like often when people address someone that has an eating disorder or someone who they might have an eating disorder, it's very you have this problem and you're doing this and I know you're doing that, and it gets so the person might feel overwhelmed. But if you flip it around and be like, I'm concerned about you, and you flip it to I statements, that can often get through to the person a little bit more. And actually at the National Eating Disorder Association, there's a whole list of resources for someone that wants to help a loved one. So they have how to have that talk, what you can do, where to find resources to help the person, because they always want additional help. It's very hard to overcome an eating disorder by yourself. So it's always recommended to seek professional help.
Seek professional help.
Yes.
That's right. And I think that's what this Eating Disorder Association actually can point you to, can't
Yes, they have tons of resources on different therapists, different support groups, online support groups. They have everything. It's great.
That's right, yeah. And we can only try to reach people who have these, a lot of people are very self-conscious and aware and self-protective. And to get through to them about their eating disorder or their drinking disorder or whatever. And it's hard. This show is not for children, though, right?
It is. So we have one show on Sunday that is a little bit more explicit. That's our 5 o'clock show. But we do advise, because it is a sensitive topic. But all the artists that we have presented, we have 12-year-olds in our show.
I see.
So yeah, because we believe that body positivity belongs to everyone. So, there is some just be aware that's sensitive. But kids as young as 8 struggle with eating problems sometimes.
So the dancers they are regular modern dancers, right?
Yep.
And that's what they do. Fascinating.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to see them, and that's going to be at the California Stage Theater at 2509 R Street in Midtown Sacramento.
Yep.
And the majority of the proceeds will be donated to this foundation we're talking
To
about.
NIDA,
right?
yes.
Okay. We're going to take a short pause for the cause, and we'll come back and talk more about eating disorders and the Borne Dance Company. Okay, here we go.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Do you want to meet a family with a transgender kid? Here we are. Max loves to do backflips. Max loves to play his ukulele. Max loves to just be a kid and just be himself. When I found out I was pregnant, all I really wanted was a happy, healthy, whole child. And that's what I got. I think it's really important for people to know that trans kids don't have a political agenda. They are just kids. Like any parent, we love our kids unconditionally, and we will never stop fighting for them. Stand with us. Protect our families.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Okay, we're back with LiveWire. If you just tuned in, I'm talking with Katie Kilborn, who is the artistic director and co-founder. Who's the other person?
Her name's Kiana Moye.
Aha.
She found it with me in New York City.
Oh, in New York City. Cool. And it's called the Borne Dance Company.
Yes.
Well, there, and that's your show right there, the Borne Dance Show, and that's coming up, right?
Yep, this weekend
Where's it going to be?
at the California stage.
Oh, wonderful place. I know it well.
Yeah, it's a great
I think I
place.
swept the stage this morning. At any rate, not really. At any rate, it's very exciting to have a company that has a real specific duty.
Mhm.
It's really interesting. And so you have a new nonprofit status too, huh?
We do. I just got my letter from the IRS within the last month, so it's really exciting because we've been working for our nonprofit status for years. I mean, finally.
Oh, I know.
we
How
finally
long
got it.
has it been since you applied?
Not too long. It hasn't been too long, but it's been a very slow process because the company actually we started it in 2015, and it's just been a slow and steady process to get to that
Good.
a nonprofit. Yeah.
Good. And so in the dance company, you have some guest dancers?
Yes. So in all three shows, we have a variety of guest artists. So we have musicians, we have local dancers, we have dance companies, we have some dance students. We also have a spoken word artist, and we're all there to celebrate body positivity and positive mental health. So some of the pieces are light and lighthearted, and they're kind of just fun and celebrate different body types, and some are a little bit more emotional. But we have at least 10 different guest artists each night.
Yeah. Who are these people on there?
These are my Sacramento dancers. Yeah.
Cool. That's good. Oh, you're using a ladder. Cool.
Yep. And our ladder is our main theme.
And are these what part of the show? Are these part of the show?
These are just promotional pictures, but we use a ladder throughout our
They're
entire show.
cool pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, our photographer was
I like
amazing.
them. You must have a really great photographer. Look at that. All right. Sleeping on the ladder.
Yeah.
I could do that. It's really interesting. So the dance is you choreographed by you.
Yes, for the most
and
part.
you picked the music.
For the most part.
And does the music kind of reflect something that you think about eating disorders?
So every piece is a little different, and there's different characters, and every song's a little different. So there's one song that we chose that kind of represents being in a manic state.
Manic.
So yeah, there's another song that represents like more sadness, and then there's songs that represent more hope. And I am the main choreographer, but we also have 2 other choreographers. I have my choreographer in New York City who collaborated on some pieces.
Cool.
And then our spoken word artist, she choreographed a piece for her own spoken word this time. So again, collaborative process. Lots of different cooks.
So in New York, are they also going to do this?
Yeah,
this dance?
it's the same show. A couple different differences, but basically what we do is we choreograph it, we film it, and then we send it to the other company, and that's how we kind of build.
I don't
together.
like that move. I'm going to change it.
Yes, a little bit, just kind of fit like our themes, but for the most part, they're the same.
That is a creative process.
It is the creative process, 100%. Yes.
It really is, and it's so much fun. But then at times it can be tough too, you know, where you really
little bit, yeah.
can't find your way from A to D or whatever.
Yeah.
So is this, and then throughout the year you have dance classes and people train with you?
We offer dance workshops, and our workshops are based around like body positivity and inspiring mental health. And so our workshops are open to the public for the most part, and you don't have to be a dancer to participate in them. We've had several like non-movers come because it's all about just kind of exploring creativity and building up to a series of questions that just spark body positivity. So that's the
So
point
if
of our
I'm
workshops.
listening in and I'm thinking, you know, my 12-year-old might like this.
Yeah, we've had 12-year-olds in it, and we have people in our 40s and 50s in it, so all over. Yeah.
40s and 50s?
You want to take class with us? You
Sure. Shuffle ball change.
can. Not quite, but yeah.
No, not that?
It's
Oh,
more like,
more like
how would you move if you were a color
Oh, I see,
type
okay.
thing.
Move this way 3 feet, move that way 3 feet.
A little bit more expressive, yeah.
I think it's great. And how do you pick the music? I mean, is this like just modern music? I need some dance music to deal with food issues.
Maybe it's all part of the creative process. So sometimes I hear a song and I'm just like, I love that song. That song, like, I need it. And then sometimes I look for songs I feel like need to fit the vibe of what I'm going for. So it depends.
It's so funny. You know, I was listening to the music on my car driving today, and there's a song from the 60s that I listened to as a kid all the time. I never really got it. And then I'm driving along and I pull over because I understand the words now. All of a sudden, it just came to me. I was like stunned.
I love when that happens. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, all of these years, I thought, okay, yeah. So, at any rate, everybody needs to know and go to this place and go and see your show. So we're going to tell them what to do, right?
Yep.
Okay. Why don't you announce what the show is and where it's going?
Yep. So this February 18th at 7 o'clock, 19th at 12 and 5 o'clock. So there's 3 different shows. Space is limited, so we recommend reserving your seats online, which you could do through borndance.com. Am I missing anything?
I can help you.
Yeah.
Also, that area has got lots of good parking.
Yes.
Along our street, and then also there's a parking lot across the street, and there's parking lot inside the multi-theater area.
Okay.
But you got to get there early.
Great. Parking, you said in the parking lot. Which lot is that?
Yeah, parking lot is right in the middle of the. It's on not on our street side, but it's on the 25th
25th,
Street.
right.
So you have to walk out of the parking lot to go around to the front door of our street theater company. But your car is safe and it's wonderful.
That's good. Good to know. So they get there early for that.
Sure. So what happens after this? After you do this, do you work on something for next year?
Yeah. Well, after this, we're going to take a couple-month break because I am 8 months pregnant.
Oh,
About to have a
okay.
baby soon.
Okay.
So
Got
we're going to take a little break.
Little dancer coming out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then in summer, we get together again, and then we start making choreography for next season because we do our this show annually. So we do this show every February.
Mm-hmm.
Well, an eating disorder awareness show, just different.
And do you have a place, a home with a dance floor and everything?
Yes, we rehearse at Dance 10 on 8th Street, or sometimes not 8th Street. Yes. And then sometimes we also rehearse at Fancy Feet. So both of those academies.
Okay, and I guess we have there is a suggested donation, and that money, if you go to see this dance show at California Stage coming up on February the 18th at 7 p.m., and also on Sunday the 19th at 12 and 5 p.m., so you can take kids there, right?
Yeah, the 5 o'clock show is adult content, but everything else is kid friendly. The other 2 shows are kid friendly.
Okay. There, you can see it in the lettering we are just broadcasting right there. And I think that's nice to do those things. I don't know if the dancers like that. I'm dancing twice in the give it all.
Well, we want to reach as many people as we can. So
Sure, yeah. I think that's what to do.
yeah.
Good. Well, thank you so much for talking to me. It is just an interesting concept to, to associate an eating disorder with dance or any other art form. I think I think there are plays that deal with psychological disorders, and I don't know if there is one dealing with eating disorders, but I'm sure there's some films that do that, right?
There are some films, yes.
Yeah, there are films. And I suppose you could get online if you could get online and just put eating, Google in eating disorders and a film will come up. But a live stage dance company dealing with that issue is kind of wonderful, don't you think?
Yeah, I've tried to look for others and I have not found them yet. So I think we're one of the main, if not the only company that's focusing.
You've got to
solely
take
on
it to
this.
Chicago. All the
Chicago
restaurant
place.
people will go after you.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I mean, I'm from Chicago, so I can tell you the plates are big and they're.
Are they?
So, okay. So we should tell one more time, and then we have to go off the air because we're done.
Bummer.
We
but-
did. It's
but I
a
had fun
bummer.
today, yeah.
Yeah. So it's called Continuum.
Yes.
And it's a dance company that does. The company is called Borne Dance.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're doing a disorder eating awareness project.
Yes, eating disorder awareness show.
Good. Okay, I think it's an end for us, and I want to thank you so much for coming, Katie Kilburn.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and folks, if you want more information, Borne, BORN dot BORNE .com.
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll see you next week on a live show and meeting some of the great artists in our town and around the area, and also talk about issues that are important to us all. We'll see you next week on LiveWire.